What if ancient legends of colossal sea beasts were more than just stories? Picture a shadow rising beneath the waves, bigger than a ship, eyes like lanterns in the dark. That's the Leviathan, part nightmare, part navigator of human imagination. The Leviathan shows up across centuries as an ocean's ultimate boss monster. Like, I'm talking a sea serpent, a dragon, a world-cracking whale, whatever form it takes, it rules the deep. Today, I'm diving into where this thing came from, why it stuck around, and whether I could actually find it. Here's the challenge. Is Leviathan a literal creature someone saw and exaggerated? A mashup of real encounters, typhoon, whale, volcanic sea smoke? Or is it a symbol, a way to talk about chaos, power, and the places humans can't control? Every culture near the sea had a reason to personify fear. Sailors disappear, weather flips, the ocean swallows evidence. And in that uncertainty, Leviathan grows. The name Leviathan comes from the Hebrew Bible, Job, Psalms, Isaiah, where it's this untamable force, scales like armor, breath like smoke, the kind of thing you don't fight, you survive. But similar beasts circle the map. Lotan, Tiamat, Jormungandr, Sketos. Artists kept the monster alive. Medieval bestiaries, woodcuts of serpent-knotted ships, romantic paintings of storms with teeth. Writers too, Milton, Melville, modern fantasy, each asking what the ocean hides when we're not looking. Here's the moment that gets me. Some of the scariest depictions aren't fantasy. They're almost scientific guesswork. Imagine a starving sperm whale ramming a hull like the Essex, or a colossal squid, 30 feet of muscle and beak, surfacing dead with eyes the size of dinner plates. Rogue waves as tall as buildings, underwater eruptions staining the sea black, and bioluminescent blooms turning the night electric. So if you were there with a torch and a story to tell, wouldn't you call it Leviathan? Paleontologists point to Basilosaurus, a massive prehistoric whale with crocodile teeth. Sailors report uncharted giants like oarfish.
Stop scrolling. People keep sending me these photos asking me if it's Leviathan and asking me if I could cover this. This is something that's going extremely viral all over social media. You have some people saying this is Leviathan, I believe, talking about that it was found on Google Earth and that it's been moving. Some people are saying that it has wings and that the government froze it. As I say with everything, let's go to the Bible. Leviathan is mentioned in different places. The most detailed place is in Job chapter 41, where God, he's speaking to Job and he says, can you catch Leviathan with a hook or put a noose around its jaw? Can you tie it with a rope through its nose or pierce its jaw with a spike? Will it beg you for mercy or implore you for pity? Will it agree to work for you, to be your slave for life? Can you make it a pet? God says that it's useless to try to capture it. The hunter who attempts it will be knocked down. I want you to remember that. God says that nobody dares to disturb it. He then goes on to emphasize Leviathan's limbs. Enormous strength, terrible teeth. The scales on its back are like rows of shields, tightly sealed together. When it sneezes, it flashes light. Fire comes out of its mouth. It's a literal sea dragon. Smoke comes from its nostrils. Its neck is strong. Its flesh is hard and firm and cannot be penetrated. When it rises, the mighty are afraid, gripped by terror. I want you to notice this. No sword can stop it. No spear, dart, or javelin. Iron is nothing but straw to that creature. Arrows cannot make it flee. Now understand verse 31. Leviathan makes water boil with its commotion. It stirs the depth like pots of ointment. There's no other creature like it. Leviathan does not dwell on the surface of the water. When you read these passages, you see that he's in the deep waters. The Hebrew word that's used here is metzolah. It means a deep place of water or mud, bottom, deep, depth. And it has linked to sulah, which means an abyss of the sea. So the Lord's essentially saying that Leviathan causes chaos in the sea. Leviathan is also mentioned a few other places in scripture. In Psalm 74:14, where it says, you crush the heads of Leviathan and let the desert animals eat him. This specific passage wasn't about literal Leviathan, but it's believed by scholars Pharaoh. In the future, during the time of the tribulation, God himself judges Leviathan. Which brings me back to this. People said that this had wings. Leviathan's not listed with wings. He's a sea dragon, a sea serpent. People had said that that was an eye. Well, I zeroed in on it. It's islands. Now that does look like a serpent. It's a tectonic plate boundary. This is what is called the Scotia Plate. It's formed by plate tectonics. And people say that it moves, but Google Maps updates, sometimes shows different lighting and depths of imagery. They said that the government froze it. That's not possible. You just saw what God said in scripture. If that was Leviathan, he's the only one that could get at it. The government's not that powerful. Plus, it's been in the same place for years. Leviathan's real, but that's not Leviathan. And of course, as mentioned in the video, I don't believe that's Leviathan that you see. I do believe, and I want to reaffirm this, that Leviathan is real. And I do believe that Leviathan is there. And I do believe that Leviathan does breathe a certain type of fire. As God says, flames can go out. Yes, even being a water creature. Interestingly enough, John said, I saw a beast rising out of the sea having 7 heads and 10 horns. Now, of course, that represents the Antichrist's kingdom, which is a dimension of the spirit of Leviathan. It's not Leviathan himself, but this is in the area of the Mediterranean. Just a cool Bible nugget for you.
Can I find definitive proof in the Bible that the Leviathan beast is alive and well today? The Leviathan, a creature mentioned in the Bible, has sparked curiosity and debate among scholars and theologians for centuries. It's described in vivid, often terrifying detail, which leaves many to wonder, does it still exist today? And what does Scripture actually say about it beyond the dramatic imagery? Interpreting ancient biblical texts about mythical creatures like the Leviathan in a modern context can be quite challenging. Some people see it as a literal sea monster, while others view it as a symbolic representation of chaos or evil. The Bible doesn't provide a clear definition, leaving room for various perspectives. Different cultures and traditions have their own take on the Leviathan, making it even harder to pinpoint its true nature. The biblical account is often shrouded in mystery, and its descriptions invite multiple readings. For instance, a literalist might picture a massive sea creature. A poet or prophet might intend metaphor and theology. The lack of concrete archaeological or scientific evidence, scholars and theologians have offered insights from ancient Near Eastern sea monster myths to later church allegory, but there's no unanimous consensus on what the Leviathan truly is. Let's dive into specific biblical passages that mention the Leviathan. Job 41 gives the most vivid portrait. Scales like plates, breath that kindles coals, a tail that stirs the sea, language meant to inspire awe and fear. Psalm 74 references God breaking the heads of Leviathan, a victory over chaotic sea forces, while Isaiah 27 uses the creature as a symbol of the defeated dragon tied to eschatological hope. These passages can be read literally as descriptions of a colossal marine animal, perhaps reflecting ancient encounters with large sea creatures, or metaphorically representing chaos, primeval enemies, or imperial threats. Some commentators compare Leviathan to known animals like whales, crocodiles, or giant squid. Others point to mythic motifs shared across Near Eastern literature. Each reading affects how we answer the core question about Leviathan's existence today. The main insight emerges when we weigh language, context, and theological purpose. While Scripture describes Leviathan in awe-inspiring terms, its existence today is largely understood metaphorically. The biblical authors use the creature's image to talk about chaos, divine sovereignty, and the forces that threaten order. Rather than serving as a field guide entry for marine biology, Leviathan functions as a dramatic theological device, reminding readers of God's power to subdue chaos. That said, the vividness of the descriptions keeps room for imaginative literalism, and for many readers, the imagery retains an almost palpable realism. So while a literal Leviathan may not be swimming in our oceans today, its significance in the Bible remains powerful. The creature's role, whether mythical, metaphorical, or a blend, teaches about God's rule, the presence of chaos, and humanity's place within creation. What are your thoughts on the Leviathan? Literal beast, symbolic dragon, or something in between? Share your insights in the comments below. If you want more explorations of biblical mysteries and interpretations, be sure to subscribe and join the conversation.
I've warned you all on the West Coast to get out of there. Have y'all not heard what happened in Santa Cruz? Did y'all not see the news? Well, let's talk about it.
Chunk of the cliffside along an iconic Santa Cruz roadway. It fell into the ocean over the weekend.
Hold up. What did she just say?
Chunk of the cliffside along an iconic Santa Cruz roadway. It fell into the ocean over the weekend.
That's exactly what I thought I heard her say. That parts of the cliff fell into the ocean over the weekend? Let's hear this lady out.
Chunk of the cliffside along an iconic Santa Cruz roadway. It fell into the ocean over the weekend as strong waves pounded the coast. West Cliff Drive has been a victim of relentless erosion over the years. And as city officials make repairs, it reignites the debate over the future of this part of the coast as climate change and sea level rise threaten more damage.
Now, if you've been following me, then you know that scientists just said that the Bermuda Triangle sea floor has risen 500 meters, or around 1,600 feet, almost a third of a mile. They're still trying to figure out how. I know. For those of you that follow me, you know what you're looking at. For those that don't, quick context. Here's the front lip line, the side jaw area here. Here's the eye. Here's the brow area, which is in, yeah. And I told you all, Caracas is right there on the mouth. And that's going to be affected the most, the fastest. Okay, where did they just get the Venezuelan president from? Was he captured or evacuated? So, one eye there. We're going to follow this side over here down the side jawline over to Haiti. This is where the other eye is over here. That's an island. Okay. And as we come around, get to the neck area, you can follow this up. And you can see the body. Just look at the terrain change, you guys. And you can follow the body. And this is the belly area, where all of the organs are. The heart would be in this area right here, you know, where all of that energy in Vegas is. It just feels so electrifying. And, you know, area, yeah, that place. Okay. But what we're talking about today is Santa Cruz. And Santa Cruz is located, that's right there. Now, if the seafloor is rising in the Bermuda, that means that she's trying to move, you guys. And I've already told you, this is the belly of the beast. This is why she bulges so much there. A lot of fluid inside of here. A lot of fluid, you guys. All right. And this is why you get so many earthquakes. It's just a lot of digestive movements. You can follow these earthquakes or follow her tracks. I'll show you that on another video. But in Santa Cruz, parts of Santa Cruz fell off into the ocean today. All right. She's trying to move, you guys. And I've explained this to you all that she was going to after she was no longer anchored. All right. In Anchorage, Alaska, which is here. This is where she's anchored, and she's anchored by glaciers. It's keeping her cold, keeping her frozen. It's a reptile. Reptiles stay in brumation whenever they are cold, all right? And what's going on with the climate? That's right. It's warming up. Now you can follow the rest of her tail that comes out here all the way down to the cloaca. And the cloaca is their poop chute, okay? Not only is it their poop chute, but it's where they have their eggs, where they lay their eggs or have their live young. And guess where this is located? in the Bering Sea. Now, what does Bering mean? Cloaca, eggs, live birth, Bering Sea. Yeah, let's go on out to the end of her tail, which is there, so you can see this animal. And you guys have to understand, she is over 9,000 miles long. Over 9. Come on, you can see the, look at the terrain change. Just follow on around, you guys. All right? She's over 9,000 miles long. And guess what else? Look at it. What have you heard about all of the underground stuff? And it is right on the outside where she connects, you guys. That is the side of her body. And what have you heard about the airport? There you go. And you all know about Yellowstone? You all know about that area? Yellowstone? Okay, just making sure. Just making sure y'all keeping up. All right. And we'll follow her back down. Back around to her head. All right. Which is here. And you can see the terrain. You see the way that this comes over here? She's like a python. See how the head gets wide right there? Watch this. Look at the mountain range. How it gets wide right here. You see that line? That's all elevation. That is raised elevation. We call it mountains. The same way that it comes over here. Look at the eye there. And it bulges out over here. Comes back around. Come over here. Bulges out. And comes back around. All right. Here's the mouth. And just like a python has those nose holes, yeah, you all call them islands. The islands are the raised part of those nose holes. Okay? Those islands there are the raised part of those nose holes. Just like down here. Let's go down to Drake. I hope you guys are still with me. I'll teach you about that horse right here a little bit later. All right. We'll get down to Drake Landing. If you look here, you can even still see the scales, people, on this one down here. All right, down to Drake's Landing. Drake's Passage, I'm sorry. And you can see those nose holes, just like a python. These are raised. I'm going to show you something. Let's get close. I'm going to show you how they go in. Do you see this terrain change? You see how it's hilly here? And then here, it goes in. It dips down like you go downhill inside. All right, you guys? That's one. I seen a lot of people was like, no, these are islands. Listen, I'll show it to you on all of them. They're all raised, and then they go inside, you guys. All right, this is photoshopped inside of here. All of this here is photoshopped. All right, all of that's photoshopped. It's just that they messed up on a few of them. Just like these, it's raised. You can see it raises on the outside. And then it's like a hill that you can go inside right there. And this hole is closed up right there. All right. These are nostrils on this animal. That's what those are. That's why they tell you can't go down towards Antarctica. You can go no further south than I think the 60th parallel, something like that. And that's why Drake's Passage, which is right here, is so choppy. Because Drake continues to move up and down. But Drake is also frozen in brumation. So it's only so much that he can do. He's also anchored down by Antarctica. All right? Anchored by Antarctica. Right here. Okay? Now, once Drake starts to thaw out more near Antarctica, and he is, all right, what you were looking at, that is no longer the satellite imagery. They have not updated that in over a year and a half now. All right. So I'm sure what we were looking at that was snow and it was frozen, it's not the same. This is why you all can see when they're showing you these new pictures of Antarctica now, where the ice is melting and there's grass and beautiful flowers everywhere. They're not showing you that on Google Earth. Okay. That is the truth about Antarctica. It's thawing out. Alaska, it's thawing out. Why? Because the earth is going back to its natural habitat. And what kind of habitat is this earth? This earth is a reptilian habitat. It's supposed to be hot and humid for those extra large reptiles that you were just looking at. They were the first creations. It was for them, not us. All right. Now, once this earth returns to its normal temperature, all of that ice will thaw out, and those water serpents will once again move. It's going to be up to us to live with them. They're too big for us to do anything to them, and if these humans continue to try and mess with them, Godspeed for all of us.
Beware, motherfucker, cause the king is back.